for us, the miracle happened right when she was born, and things were the worst. We didn't even know about cooling. We had no idea how Children's Miracle Network would affect our lives. So Celeste was born in November 2012 after a very healthy pregnancy. There were complications in the delivery, and so when she was born, she was not responding and not breathing. She was like, the only way to describe it is she was like blue and purple everywhere. She was transferred from a local hospital to Shands or UF Health at Jacksonville, and one of the physicians that was working at our local hospital was where they had resuscitated her was a UF Health physician, and he was aware of cooling therapy. And after he saw Celeste's lab work and did an assessment of her, even though she had seemed to recover from the initial insult and she was pink and crying again, he said that based on the lab results, he felt like she had sustained a significant brain injury, and also multiple organs were also injured during the insult. And he was aware of the cooling technology that had just recently been enrolled at UF Health Jacksonville. He was fully prepared to assess her and recognize that she was a good candidate for this technology, and he was able to initiate or begin the process of cooling in transfer. So because they had the technology on the ambulance, she was able to begin cooling therapy within the 6-hour window that it has to be begun. Celeste was cooled in transfer to UF Health Jacksonville, and she was there for 3 days. It was 21 hours of the cooling treatment. Her whole body, from like her head all the way down, was covered in, like, it looked like bubble wrap kind of, and there's cool water pulsing through it to keep her body temperature in a kind of like a hypothermic state, to help decrease swelling from and inflammation from the damage that a lack of oxygen can give your brain and other organs. After the cooling therapy, they were able to give her an MRI of her brain and kind of show us the parts of the brain that were affected by the insult. And so the MRI kind of shows us a history of what's happened to the brain. The areas that were affected would kind of show up in white, and basically when they showed my husband and I the MRI, her whole brain was basically white. So every area of her brain had been affected by a lack of oxygen. We know now that had Celeste not received cooling, that she would have had a very negative prognosis. We know that she most likely would not be able to walk. She definitely would not be able to talk or to do all of the things that she enjoys doing today. But for us, we never really forget how far she's come, or where where we came from in this progress. And whenever we think back to her birth, Children's Miracle Network is always a big part of that, because our life is completely different, basically, because of this organization and the fundraising that they had organized, the partners that came alongside of them to raise money in all different ways: golf tournaments, dance marathons, all of these things. When we bring them together in a network and we come together and work together, we can make a huge impact. And in Celeste's life, it was a life-changing impact. So we're super grateful for that. It was like July or August before, when the Children's Miracle Network fundraising efforts had secured these cooling beds, and we needed one in November, and we never would have even had any way of knowing that our child would need something like that. But when we needed it, it was there for us. And it's not a treatment that we could have gone out and gotten later, or a situation where time was of the essence. And so for us, the miracle is that our community had fundraised for something that we needed when we didn't even know we needed, and it was ready for our child, and it changed her life. And some of the days were really hard work, And Celeste has a lot of endurance, and she's done, on her end, there's a lot of work that goes into recovering from something like that. But we've all also been able to enjoy watching this miracle unfold, and it's life changing. Like, when you think about what the things that Celeste, or how her life would have been had she not had this technology to help her recover from such a significant injury. There's really no way to give back to the extent the gift that was given to us when what we needed was ready, when we needed it. And here we're trying to give back, and the gift that was given back to us in return for that is Celeste has grown up hearing her story. I think it will always be a big part of her life.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.